Here's Johnny.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
Why so serious? Yippee-ki-yay.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
And like that, he's gone.
So a terrible thing happened to me this weekend. Friday night, my daughter was trying to take a shower, and she yelled down that there was only cold water coming out. So I went down in the basement to check out on the hot water tank. When I got to the bottom of the stairs and flipped on the light, I couldn't believe what I saw. Water everywhere. I was looking at the finished half of our basement and seeing the carpet floating about 6 inches off the ground, while all of our furniture, electronics, like the nice component stereo system I had, and an electric guitar and amp, and all our personal belongings were submerged in water. FYI, the hot water tank went out because the pilot light was completely underwater. So apparently the sump pump had failed. And even though we live in the city, nowhere near any lakes or rivers, because of the frozen ground and melting snow, all of that water backed up inside our basement in a matter of mere hours. And it got everything. The whole living area in the finished half of our basement, and everything stored in the unfinished half, like holiday decorations, tools, sentimental things that we've been holding on to, including the cat's litter box, which we also kept down there. I discovered that one when I saw one lone cat turd floating on by, trying to swim upstream before it got flushed down the drain forever. It was almost comical. But at that same time, I became so overwhelmed thinking about what a mess this was. I felt a little bit like that turd myself, drowning in the shitstorm happening all around me. Now, I know it's a gross analogy, but I think you get the picture. Now, the only other thing that has made me feel so overwhelmed like that was the thought of going to auditions. I mean, talk about feeling like a cat turd. You know, that nervous feeling I got when I made an audition appointment, not knowing if I should be looking at the camera or the casting director, thinking I should have worn a different outfit, getting mad at myself because I screwed up the very first line that came out of my mouth. All of those, plus the anxiety of thinking about whether or not I got the role, or if I was even good enough to be auditioning in the first place, made me sick to my stomach and totally overwhelmed me whenever I thought about auditioning on camera. Now, luckily, that's not the case for me anymore. And it doesn't have to be for you either. And my on-camera audition intensive on March 16th certainly isn't for everyone, but if the thought of auditioning has ever made you feel as helpless as a lone cat turd trying to swim upstream, then it just might be worth checking out. Now, there are a limited number of spots, so you'll have to apply to take it. But if you get in, I can promise you that it will be the last time you feel crappy about auditioning ever again. I'll put a link to the application in the show notes and the description. Remember, if you want to learn how to make better films and act on camera, Guerrilla Film School has got you covered. We put together a free training video on how directors and actors can work together on set. You can get instant access to this free training right now by going to guerrillafilmschool.com/training.